Are they really concerned about Manipur? If they are, after the kind of steps that have been announced by the centre and all the attempts that are being made right now to diffuse the tension to ensure that there is peace and normalcy, will we see both the opposition and the government getting together in the parliament and having a discussion threadbare on Manipur? Let's fix accountability. Let's ensure that an incident like this is never repeated. Let's ensure that both the warring factions, the Kuki and the Meitei tribes, actually sit together and resolve their concerns. But will that happen? Or will on the weekend, when you will have a delegation of the opposition MPs heading to Manipur, this will see an escalation in tensions? That's going to be our top focus on the biggest story tonight. I'm Deepthi Sachdeva. We get you details on that and much more. The headlines first up. As Manipur remains on the edge for about 80 days now, the CBI already has taken over the investigation of the barbaric assault video, and the centre has also put out an affidavit in the Supreme Court. In a big exclusive, the Manipur Chief Minister is speaking to Republic. He is also responding to those who say he needs to resign. He says there is no question of my resignation. Instead, he says I am working to ensure there is peace in the state. In more news, the UDP filming controversy is getting bigger. The BJP earlier has staged a protest. They say they are not happy with the kind of investigation in the case so far. They also allege that there is a cover-up and a go-slow in the case by the government. Sources suggest the law panel will not extend the deadline when it comes to the UCC. Also, a report is likely soon. Does this mean India is inching a step closer to the UCC rollout? Yet again, there has been the stapled visa provocation by China. New Delhi has hit back, sending a strong message. The Wushu team has boycotted the FISU Games, but the question we are asking, is that enough? Also, the BJP has already swung into mission mode in the state of Tamil Nadu. Amit Shah is all set to flag off a 6-month-long Padyatra in the state. This is the BJP on an overdrive before the big battle of 2024. So for the last many days, there have been very concerning images that have come in from Manipur. The questions have been asked to the state government there. The questions have been asked of the centre. The centre said, we are willing for a debate in the parliament. This is exactly what the opposition first wanted. And once they agreed for a debate, they said nothing doing. We cannot have a debate until and unless the Prime Minister on the floor of the House takes part in a debate. Many said that this has now become a pure, simple ego battle between the two sides. It's a question of who blinks first. Are they really concerned about Manipur? Then in the last 24 hours, you've seen and heard steps that have been taken by the centre. The centre has also reached the Supreme Court. It's put out an affidavit. Now, what do they say in their affidavit? They say there is zero tolerance towards crime against women. Also, they say too heinous a crime, it has to be taken seriously. They also insist the punishment must have a deterrent effect on the nation. Also saying that the central government right now is going to be ensuring that the CBI takes over the entire investigation. In fact, what I'll do is also request our team to put out those graphic details so that you can also get a better sense of what we are talking about, as the case right now is being dealt at multiple levels. But in the court, the government has given a full lowdown on what it is expected to do. It also says that we request the trial to be conducted outside the state of Manipur. The trial in the case should be completed in the next 6 months. So the centre there going in for the steps that possibly are the best steps right now to deal with the entire situation. Then the question comes in of accountability. The question also comes in on why it took so long for the state to act and make those arrests until the video goes viral. And also, important details on how the infiltration problem is going to be dealt with. We also have a quick breaking update, in fact, on that you see on your screens right now. There is a lot of concern that there have been a lot of illegal immigration, and now we are learning that the MHA is expected to look at about 300 refugees who are in the detention center. The process to check the immigrants begins tomorrow. The MHA team will be collecting the biometrics of refugees only and only to ensure that there are no illegal migrants in the state. So all said and done, you're looking at multiple steps being taken by the center, and like I said, in the middle of all this, in the middle of this entire peace process that the center right now wants to kickstart, there is also the news of the team of the India Alliance that is going to be visiting Manipur this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. You see those images on the right of your screens. So the question we are asking, is it a good time to play politics? Is this exactly how a situation as sensitive as this should be dealt with? I want to introduce our panel of guests who will take forward that entire conversation here. PKD Nambiar is a political analyst. He is joining us along with Professor Monojit Mandal, who is also a political analyst. He leans towards the TMC. Ashutosh Mishra is a senior journalist, also with us on the panel. And let's get them on the screen. And first up, asking Ashutosh, and then PKD and Monojit can also come in. Ashutosh, is this a good time to play politics? You know, political parties will obviously play politics. You might just say that. But right now, when the state is wanting to come back to normalcy, the government says, let's have a discussion in the parliament. It also submits an affidavit in the court, Ashutosh, detailing the steps that it believes needs to be taken to diffuse this tension. Isn't there any onus on the opposition to help the government to ensure there is peace?
So you have to realize, Deepthi, that this is a government which was sleeping on the matter. It was trying to hide the matter, and it's only when that video came out that the Prime Minister came and gave a short statement. And that was also an embarrassment and showed little respect for either the violence in Manipur or the how the women there are and people are suffering. And then opposition, if the opposition wants to become the voice of the people, why do you think that it's a bad thing? The government, it's the first time that a
voice of the people. Did you just say that? Voice of the people.
Ruling state government. Yeah, so
you know, voice of the people is a fancy idea. It's a fancy idea. It's a great term. It's a great term, Ashutosh, that you do use. I know PKD wants to come in right away, but I also want to get him the first response to Monojit. You know, Monojit, the voice of the people, you can speak in the parliament, have a discussion, protest on the roads. But I just want to know that going to Manipur right now, how does this help the cause of the opposition? Monojit. You remember during the Panchayat polls when you had a BJP delegation that was in West Bengal, all of you said this is politics. The BJP wants to play politics. So aren't you also guilty of the same right now, Monojit?
If you look at the political parties, the 26 political parties which have formed the alliance called India, out of that, 24 don't have any presence in Manipur. Are they going to do politics out there? Don't look everything in the prism of politics. They are going there to show their solidarity on a humanitarian cause. It's a humongous tragedy. It's a man-made tragedy, state-sponsored tragedy, where the state was looking as passive onlookers. It's an act of omission on the part of the state that caused this humongous tragedy, loss of life, loss of honor of women on the streets of Manipur.
You said man-made
these
tragedy,
political parties are going, let me just 10-30 seconds. These India Alliance, they are going there to do the thing that the government of India should have done. The Home Minister went there only once. He failed. The Prime Minister should have gone to Manipur first, instead of visiting France, Arab, or some other parts of the globe. He should have gone there. If you look at the timing of the Prime Minister's visit to the foreign countries, France and other countries, at that point in time, the Manipur people were crying for help. Manipur was burning. So what the government could not do, the opposition, in fact, India and the people who love India, they are doing, not to do politics. TMC has some presence in Manipur, but Congress has some presence in Manipur. Other political parties, 24 political parties, they do not have any presence. They are not going there to do any politics at all. We are going there to show our solidarity with the people.
So you insist this is just about solidarity?
To show our
You clearly insist, Monaji, this is just about solidarity, but I don't know where you say this is a man-made tragedy, because I'm sure you're aware of, the history, the background between the Kuki and the Meitei tribes. Ashutosh, before I come to you, but the opposition will obviously duck that question, PKD. You cannot expect them to say, yes, we are a political party, will not play politics. But tell me something. What stops the Prime Minister from visiting Manipur? Do you think it's important at an hour like this for a healing touch for the Prime Minister to reach out? And could the Prime Minister have also used the Parliament as a forum to reassure everyone that we are all with you? The country stands with Manipur.
Deepthi, let me ask you, there is a merchant of love in this country now. There is a dukaan, प्यार का दुकान खोल के और मोहब्बत का दुकान खोल कर जो चलने वाला, वो कुछ दिन पहले गए थे. Rahul Gandhi was in Manipur for about a couple of weeks back. What happened? Did it give any balm to the situation? May not be, or not really. So in a way, handling a crisis on at the site or at the location or the state is more important than handling the VIPs who are going there and their security. I think if these people are, if these politicians are really caring about Manipur and the people of Manipur, I think they should be, rather than politicizing it, I think they should also come out with solutions which may be a long-lasting one. And this is not the first time what is happening in Manipur is happening. Maybe we are living in the era of internet and everything gets manifolded multiple times and repeatedly used or broadcasted. But one thing you need to understand, look at the history, as you yourself was telling, that it's a two tribal communities which has got a history of not going with each other. So this is not something like a political even there is no communal violence. It's a tribal fight between the two communities. It's not from today. There's a history to it. Now, coming to the politicization is that why Manipur has become so much of an important for all these political parties without even projecting any kind of a vision document or a solution to this. If at all, if they are very serious, they could have really gone ahead and given ready to participate in a parliamentary debate. But they said that no, either my way or highway, we will not participate if it is not going to be under this rule. If the Prime Minister is not going to make the statement in first place. See, there is a home minister. There is a hierarchy in this country. There are we have a federal structure. The state, the law and order belongs to is the responsibility of the state. If the state fails,
but you know what? The Prime Minister speaking at a time like this has its own weightage. Both Monojit and Ashutosh want to come in. But before I, go to them, I just want to ask you a quick follow-up question. Who do you believe is accountable for what's happened in Manipur? Clearly, someone has to be accountable. No, PKD.
I think the state government is responsible to make sure that the law and order, and in the event wherein the state government is
so should Biren Singh have been sacked? Should Biren Singh have been sacked? PKD. The next follow-up question.
No, the Biren Singh should have been gone, and he was ready to go. And you remember that the resignation drama. He has also got followers who are not ready to go. But believe me, this is the time there should be an elected government should be functional to look after the state. There is nobody going from Delhi would not be knowing the Manipur and the reality of Manipur as if somebody go from Delhi tomorrow morning, a joint secretary or a governor or somebody, they will not be able to manage it. All these places have got its own culture, its own political realities, community realities. So I think the not sacking the government, not asking the Biren Singh government to go off right now, or maintaining them is in the interest of Manipur. If you really look at it, not politically but logically. Politically, if you think that there is a crisis, do you think that the Biren Singh government is going tomorrow? Will it solve all the problems there? I don't think so, Deepthi.
He's spoken to Republic. I must tell all of you, he's spoken to Republic earlier. The first question our reporter asked him is that the opposition says you need to go. He said, tell them I'm not going anywhere. Monoji. He says that I have to ensure there is peace and normalcy in my state. Isn't that a response that even the opposition would have given in? You know, has Mamata Banerjee ever taken responsibility for what's happened during Panchayat polls, Monoji? Let's be real. The point is that none of these chief ministers will take responsibility.
Ever since Mamata Banerjee...
Please stop now. I'm not doing anything about Bengal. Why are you speaking now? And you have been only speaking.
Yes, Monoji.
You compare, you compare Bengal with Manipur. I think it's utterly shameful, I tell you.
I'm not comparing exactly what I said. I'm just talking of the responses of the two chief ministers, Monoji. I personally believe there is no comparison between Manipur and Rajasthan or West Bengal. That is whataboutery. That is my stated position. But I am saying the responses of the chief minister are alike. The moment you ask any chief minister a question of accountability, resigning, they will say, why will I resign? I have to be here. I have to ensure there is peace. I have to do this. I have to do that.
Mamta, I think, is the only chief minister in the country to say sorry to the people who were killed during the Panchayat elections. He said this to the people of Bengal from one of the largest rallies in India, recent India.
Monoji.
Compensate them despite the fact.
People die. Politicians will say sorry.
Despite
they will announce a compensation, and you believe everything is fine.
Hang on, you need to. What is the problem? Despite the fact that most of the people were brutally murdered by BJP.
My problem is that you're not answering my question.
Despite the fact that what about violence that took place in Bengal because of Shubhendu Adhikari and his henchmen? I say this on TV. And you compare this with Manipur case. Show me internet in Manipur. Show me law and order in Manipur. Manipur mein internet
I'm not doing that. I will request you to not indulge in that whataboutery. Not at all. I will not even let PKD do that, and I will urge you also not to do that. You know, if the opposition Ashutosh is so sensitive about Manipur, you might say that, you know, this way or that way, let's have a discussion. You expose the government on the floor of the house. Go out and protest, Ashutosh. No one is stopping you. But tell me something, when you will have these string of netas, 16 plus opposition netas in Manipur on the weekend, how will they help the situation? If this is not about, you know, saying a lot of things, having this photo op, does this really help? Does this help the agencies also who are right now ensuring there is peace and calm, Ashutosh?
Deepthi,
what have we been doing for the last 3 months?
We keep talking about how Manipur is different.
They have failed. Monoji, they have failed. But that does not mean that we will give up on Manipur. Manipur is a part of the country. We have to ensure there is peace and normalcy at any cost.
The government of India,
and we must speak together on that, Monoji. Ashutosh, quickly, please.
They have allowed this to happen.
So you have to realize that even BJP MLAs...
Monoji, let Ashutosh please complete his point.
So there are 10 BJP MLAs in Manipur who are from Kuki tribe who have demanded that Biren Singh should go. So this is a big difference between a CM who stands accused of being complicit in the violence by even its own people. You know, what you are seeing here is that BJP is embarrassed. You are saying why not debate it in the parliament? No, because BJP is embarrassed of its mishandling the Manipur fiasco, and it's evident. It's forcing the treasury benches and its BJP supporters to resort to whataboutery. The thing is that BJP doesn't want a detailed discussion on Manipur in the parliament. And Mr. Modi will make has this history where he makes statements on every subject, from Rafale to Manipur, outside the parliament, but shies away from answering those questions in the parliament because he will be held accountable for what he says in parliament. So he runs away. As far as Amit Shah is concerned, Amit Shah is the home minister. So he is part of the problem rather than the solution to the problem. I mean, but for this video coming out,
there is limited time. But what has come out very clearly, Ashutosh, Monojit and PKD, is that no one wants to take accountability. The opposition is guilty of playing politics. The government does not want to sack Biren Singh. They continue to, back him. I do not know why, Monojit. You cannot have different standards for 4 different state chief ministers failing, Monojit. And in all this conversation, you've spoken about BJP, you've spoken about the Prime Minister, but not about the people of Manipur. Spare a thought for them. If you want peace and normalcy, Monojit, the only appeal is please cooperate in the peace process, Monojit. We've run out of time. We've run out of time. It's good that we are having a conversation discussing Manipur, Monojit, but let's also have this in the parliament. Let's also have this in the parliament. We'll see how the story develops from here. For what of time, Monojit? I've run out of time, but I thank all of you. I thank all of you for joining us. India delegation is going. What will they do if they will not play politics is a question people are asking, and we'll keep asking that question too. And the only silver lining is that there haven't been casualties in Manipur. The situation slowly but gingerly is coming back to normalcy. We'll track that story on the other side. We are back with lots more.